Hi guys, I'm here with my son Anmam reviewing Sultan, which is Salman Khan's Eid release for 2016. It's directed and written by Abbas Ali Zafar. It's a YRF Productions, and lasts 2 hours and 50 minutes. That's just 10 minutes shy of 3 hours, and has music by Vishal and Shekhar. Anmam, what did you think of the movie?
Well, I found that it had a very predictable storyline.
Okay.
You could tell what was going to happen before it happened. I mean, halfway through the movie, I'm talking to my mom saying, you know what, that's going to happen, and it happens. Uh, the fight scenes for me in the movie were very unrealistic, especially the last one.
Okay.
So I find that disappointing. All Bollywood movies, unfortunately. And for me, I found the songs weren't timed well. They were annoying.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
yes.
it is a bloated film. It is really stretched out. I mean, 2 hours and 50 minutes at some point just feels like torture, right? Uh, and I completely agree with him about the predictability. I agree with him about there being too many songs, or maybe even some of the songs being just too long. I mean, the classic example I can give you was that "Baby Ko Base Pasand Hai," which was interesting for its first stanza, but then after that, is there more? So things like that are issues. It relies really heavily on emotional melodrama, but then in some weird way, I guess we are all emotional people, us Indians, right? Uh, so in some weird way, it does seem to still kind of come together in some way or form. Sultan is a pretty unrealistic love story, come extremely unrealistic sports story. And basically, it has Amit Saad as an entrepreneur who's trying to set up a martial arts league in the country, not doing well. And then, at the suggestion of his dad, Parikshit Sahni, he basically goes and meets Sultan, who's Salman Khan and is a champion wrestler. He, of course, doesn't know anything about Sultan, which is odd given the kind of accomplishments that are shown later that he had, and not too long ago, by the way. Uh, he learns of Salman Khan's story only through his friend, who, by the way, was, according to me, the actor of the film, Anant Vidhat Sharma. He was really good, very convincing. And he learns of the story, goes, and learns of his romance with Anushka Sharma. This pair, I mean, they're both good actors, but this pairing somehow just for me didn't work because, I mean, she's and he's there's some problem somewhere. Uh, they both acted well, uh, and then. Will Salman Khan fight again? Will he not? Will he participate in the league? Will he not? Uh, what about his romance with Anushka? All these are the questions that you find out in the second half. I'm sure you're dying of suspense already. But Anmam, anything from the movie for you?
Well, they acted very well, both of them. The dialogues were good. It was how normal people in Haryana would talk. So people like your grandparents or your parents who are used to that kind of dialogue, they were laughing, they were enjoying it. So
Yeah.
in a way, it touched them because it's close to their hearts. That's how they grew up, kind of a thing. Um, I found the friend role, who Anand Sharma. He played a really good role. He made everyone laugh in a suspense, a scene filled with suspense.
Yeah, yeah.
He just adds that hint of humor.
True, true. He was a
That
comic relief
yeah,
in some ways.
I found that was very good, and overall there was a brilliant performance by all actors in a way. Yeah.
That's true. I think especially the supporting cast. I mean, Anushka's
Yes.
father, for example, is Kumud Mishra, and
Mm.
he is just so good. Every time I see the guy in every movie, I mean, whether it was Airlift or Rockstar or this one, I mean, he was very good. He's a trainer for wrestling, etc. Uh, and yeah, it works in some ways. I think because of the ensemble performances.
Randeep Huda had played a very interesting character in a special appearance. That was interesting and fun. I enjoyed that especially. The other thing was every possible sporting or romantic cliche known to mankind was in that movie.
That's true.
You could see things happening from miles away. You can tell. So it ruins the fun for people when you make it so predictable.
That's true. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. How would you rate the movie?
I'd give it a 6 on 10, which I
Okay.
think you gives you an idea of how good the film is.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, I have a similar rating. I'm surprised actually you gave it six. I thought you were going to give it a five or something, but I would give it a six just because in some weird way it does keep you hooked for some parts. You do feel for certain parts of the characters, and like I said, the ensemble cast is very good. Um, I I just have one big beef though with the film, which is I think they belittle in some ways sporting achievement by showing how soon, in how little a time he becomes a champion wrestler. In how short a period of time does he come back and, how does he beat fighters who are much more uh, accomplished than him in terms of their training and years of discipline, etc. To become a black belt, it takes a certain time period. You cannot crash that. To become a champion wrestler, it will take a certain time period. There is a certain discipline, certain steel required. Your body needs to be shaped, etc. And I think it was. I hope it does not make some kid in some village or some town in India go starry eyed and think, that's it, 4 months, 1 month, I'm going to become a champion too. That's not real. That's not going to happen. And I wish they had kept certain time periods not the way that they did. But yeah, I would kind of, I'm with Anmam in the sense of it's a 6 on 10. Thanks. Feedback, as always, welcome.